The story is told of a wise guy, students who wanted to get the rabbi more than anything else. And so he would go with a question every morning. As it happened, this one morning, he came like this with his hands and said, "Rabbi, I'm holding a bird. Is it dead or is it alive?" Now the rabbi, being a very wise rabbi, as most rabbis are, thought, if I answer it's dead, he'll let the bird go. If I answer it's alive, he may crush the bird. Vindictive, so wanting to be right. I thought and answered, "My son, in your hand you are holding a life. Choose well what you will do with it." And so we say at this moment, the gateway to the new year, you are holding a life, your own. Choose well what you will do with it. We begin, as always, with light as we kindle the lights of Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav hitzivanu להדליק נר של Shabbat.
If you're at home and you have a Kiddush cup or are drinking a glass of wine, you could raise that glass of wine. There are many, many folks here, I can't tell you, literally hundreds or 11. And so I'm going to run out and give this to this family to hold up to make Kiddush.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hichilanu zikaronu ma'aseh v'reishit ki hu yom tehillah Mikrai Kodesh, Zecher Yitziat Mitzrayim, Kivanu v'acharta, Ve'otanu kidashta, Mikol ha'amim, V'shabbat kodshecha, Ve'ahava uvratzon, Inchaltanu, Baruch atah Adonai Mikadesh HaShabbat.
Amen. L'chaim. Somebody in the Triv and Sigda family has to have a drink. Don't have to, but it'd be really nice as a l'chaim. As we continue, if you're following along in the prayer book, if you wanted to do that, it's page 130. If not, it's L'chuna Ranana. We start our Kabbalat Shabbat.
L'chuna Ranana, lai 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 lai, l'Adonai, lai 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 da da da, Naharia, lai 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 lai, Litzur Shinshenu, lai 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 lai. Let us sing out to God, the maker of all, sure and strong. Let all of God's hidden truth keep with us to hear God's song. Lehu neranena, lai 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 lai, la Adonai, lai 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 lai, Naharia, lai 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 lai, Litzur Ishenu, lai 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 lai. So I wonder if the Shabbat bride will join us, if the Shabbat spirit will appear in our doorway tonight. I hope she will. We will sing joyfully to welcome her. We will hopefully bring this last Shabbat of the old year to a beautiful close by sensing her spirit and her beauty and her quiet as we see the old year out. Join me in singing L'Chadodi, verses 1, 5, and 9, the ever popular combination. And at our last verse, please rise either in body or in spirit, face the rear of the congregation to greet her as she joins us for the last time in 5781. L'Chadodi Likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nikabela, L'Chadodi Likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nikabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, Hishmianu el hamichad Adonai echad, Shemo echad, L'shem v'tiferet l'tila, L'Chadodi, Likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nikabela, L'Chadodi, Likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nikabela. Hitorari, Kiva ore kumi ori uri huri, Shir daberi, Kavod Adonai alayich nigla, L'Chadodi, Likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat kabela, Dodi, Likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nikabela. Boi v'shalom ateret bala, gam b'simcha u'v'tzola, toch emuneh am segula, boi kala, L'Chadodi, Likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nikabela, L'Chadodi, Likrat kala. Evening Shabbat Kabbalah.
So you don't have to get back up and down. As we make our way to the Baruch Hu, we all know, and some of us have experienced, the remnants of Ida was sort of unexpected here in the community, but they were devastating for many. Especially when word got out in the flats of Mamaroneck that the CRC, the Community Resource Center, was flooded and non-functional, and that many of the immigrant and new arrived American families that they take care of lost homes or apartments and were left with basically nothing. An email circulated last night and this morning. And by the time I got there at St. Thomas's Church at 2 p.m. today, the designated collection site, I looked in the auditorium and witnessed a miracle. I can take this off, right? I'll take this off. A drive-through line of endless cars going through. It was like they were just like, at an ATM or some kind of line. And there were people, one of our members actually, Rachel, was directing traffic. They would stop just long enough to unload their stuff. A young man or woman, a teenager, would take it in. And I watched just in amazement. And then I went inside. And there's an auditorium bigger than this room, this sanctuary, filled every inch of the floor with donations. And I teared up. Why? Because it came to me as if somebody had to remind me how spectacularly caring this community is, but how what binds us together is that care. That's what makes us a community. That regardless of whether we know someone or not, regardless of whether we've ever seen them or not, we are there to help because they're a human being deserving of that dignity and respect and care. That's why we're here. That's what the Baruch Hu calls us to do.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam va'ed. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Boreyon halala golel omipnei Hoshem. Golem mipnei Hoshem ve'Hoshem mipnei Or. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam va'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam va'ed. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'odecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha Vishinantam vanecha, v'dibarta bam, v'shivtecha b'vetecha, uv'leptecha v'derek, u'shokbecha uv'kumecha, u'kshartam le'ota yadecha, ve'ayu l'totafot b'neinecha, u'ktavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha leman tizkeru vasitem et kol mitzvotai v'tem kedoshim lelohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti lehem me'eretz Mitzrayim V'hiot lachem le'Elohim, ani Adonai Elohechem. Amen. Perhaps this year, the idea of Elul is harder to bear because of the burdens that the past year laid upon us. Everyone has struggled in some crucial way with sickness, with family, with faith, with the utter absence of joy that characterized pandemic days, particularly the early ones. I don't know a single person who wasn't struggling. In the words of Simon and Garfunkel's masterpiece, American Tune, I don't know a soul that's not been battered. I don't have a friend that feels at ease. But in this week's Torah portion, we get a clue of encouragement as to the state of our souls in this moment of Sinai transition. See, this commandment I give you is not too difficult nor too burdensome. It's not in the heavens that you would have to traverse the stars to bring it back. It's not across the sea that you would have to swim across oceans to bring it back. No, it is very near to you, in your mouth and in your heart, and you can do it. And so the poet Adrian Rich offers us this meditation, I think somewhere in the prayer book, but I'm not sure. Before me, Kamoka, standing on the shore, standing at the mountainside at this new year, what choices will we make to reach up and in and out to one another, and the doors we open to find grace? Either you will go through this door or you will not go through. If you go through, there is always the risk of remembering your name. Things look at you doubly, and you must look back and let them happen. If you do not go through, it is possible to live worthily, to maintain your attitudes, to hold your position, to die bravely. But much will blind you, much will evade you. At what cost? Who knows? The door itself makes no promises. It's only a door. Join me in the singing of Mi Chamocha, in our escape to a new life, a new shore, a new year. On page 260, what is it, Rabbi? Here we go, 270. Mi chamocha va'elim Adonai, mi chamocha neda b'kodesh nora tehilot oseh Fele Nora Tehilot Oseh Fele Malhutecha Rauvanecha Bokei Ayam Lifnei Moshe Umiriam Zeli Anu Ve'amru Adonai Yimlo Leolam Va'ed Adonai Yimlo Leolam Va'ed V'ne'emar ki v'aday Adonai et Yaakov ugalo miyad hazak mimenu Baruch atah Adonai Ga'al Yisrael.
Think about that place that you hold dear as a place of rest. There's some place in this world, it could be long gone from your life, where you would sit maybe on a bed or a couch. For me, it was my bubby's window seat. We lived in a 2-family house downstairs where I'd do my homework. And I'd look out, and the temple was 12 feet from my house. That's where I'd sit. But that was, to me, perfect rest and a place to just be and be me. So close your eyes for a minute. See if you can be in that place. It might be a place you have right now in your lives. Maybe Manor Park, maybe Nantucket, maybe a mountaintop, maybe a stoop in front of an apartment or a house. And let this prayer be your meditation as you're there. Give us a place to rest, O God. Bring us into shelter in the soft, long evening shadows of your truth. For with you are true protection and safety, in your presence, acceptance, and gentle love. Watch over us as we go forth. Prepare for us as we return. Spread over us the shelter of your peace, over all we love, over our Jerusalem and yours. We're about to recite Adonai's Fatay Tiftach for the umpteenth time in our lives. We do it every time we pray. It's the first lines, the 6 words that introduce the tefillah. What's the idiom that we would say if you're not going to divulge the secret that you have? You would say, it's 4 words, starts with my. My lips are sealed. Rabbi Honstein in the back. What is Adonai? Why does that? Only understanding that do you understand why Adonai's Fatay Tiftach makes sense. Why would we ask God, open my lips? Because your lips are sealed. You're not telling the secret that's inside. You got stuff in there that you can't let out, or that's buried so deep, you have to unearth it. Or you have to be coerced or convinced. You have to know it's okay to share what's there. That's what God helps us do. That's what the prayer calls us to do. Unseal the lips as we rise.
Adonai sifutai tiftach, ufi agita yilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Velohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, Elyon, Gomer Hasadim Tovim, V'konei Hakol, V'zocher Haste Avot V'imahot, Umevi Gula Lifnei B'neihem, Leman Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozeu Moshe U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Bezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayei HaKol atah Rav Lehoshia, Morid Hatal, Mechalchel Chayim Bechesed, Mechayei HaKol Berakamim Rabim, Samech Nofli Verofei Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato, Lishene Afar, Michamocha Bagevurot, Umidomelach, Melech Memi, Tumechaye, Umatzmiak Yeshua, V'neheman atah lahakayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Megayeh hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kadoshim v'chol yom yehallelulah selah. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh.
Have a seat. As you reveal that secret, take a few minutes to open.
Yiyu leratzon imrefi vegyan libi lefanecha Adonai tzuri Adonai tzuri vegoali vegoali
Our hope for healing exists on many levels. At the same time, physical, emotional, psychological, spiritual. It's a hope that transcends words because actually it comes from our innermost being. So when we say a name on the healing list, we're not saying a name. We are picturing a person, we are thinking of what we hope, and we're inviting that hope into our hearts. That's the power of the prayer for healing. We rise together, if you want, if you can, as we pray for those in our lives who need healing most, maybe even ourselves. Mishberach, Avotenu Avram Yitzchak v'Yaakov, v'Imotenu Rivka Rachel v'Leah. May the one who blessed our mothers and fathers before us bring strength to those who struggle against sickness, those who so long to be healed. Especially at this moment, we call to mind and with hope for healing Marlo Wiggins, Carol Sladkis, Dick Stone, Alan Bogner, Harriet Lipton, Hannah Stampleman, Enid Elton, Louise Elton, Bonnie Davis, Lori Weinberg, Stanley Tereski, Bob Glassman, Marty Feldner, Andy Rosenthal, Patricia Zapata, Abraham Yochanan, Dov Lesser, Louis Siegel, Nate Moskowitz, Ari Fox, Keith Schoen, Barbara Peabody, June Foreman, Paul Wiggins, Jody Kahn, Joseph Spinelli, Lawrence Cohn, Susie Wolfson, Antonia Nelita Chipola, Harriet Katz, Pat Ryan, Sam Phillip, my uncle Jerry Gallner, Ian Spear, Norton Blumberg, Terry Rossman, Deb Margolin, Paul Stampleman, Scott Siegel, Greg Kellner, Daniel Foley, and George Siminoff. Will anyone here add a name in hopes for healing? And all those at home to add their hopes as well.
Mi sheberach avotenu makor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mi sheberach imotenu makor habracha leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
Please be seated. Just a tidbit of Torah. The catchphrase of our new year is right here in this Torah, in this portion. It's Nitzavim, after all. It's two words. The second word is life. Excellent. Nobody, so did somebody just say the game of? What, Tom, please. I set before you life and death, blessing and curse. Choose life if you and your children would live by loving Adonai, your God, heeding God's commandments, and holding fast to the Holy One. Choose life. This is not really to be taken literally. Yes, God forbid one could take their life. But Torah is putting before us the existential dilemma. Reb Nachum of Chernobyl used to teach. There are people who breathe and eat and live every day, who get up in the morning, go to sleep at night, yet who are just going through the motions. They've been dead for years. It's just that nobody bothered to tell them. Most of us think it's obvious, of course. It's not, what's the choice? You gotta choose life. But Nitzavim's framing makes it clear. Every day is a choice. Life's path is filled with opportunities to do good, bring blessing, to help, offer our hearts, to shed light, to choose life. Or to make unfortunate choices, to ignore those in need, to refuse to reach out, or to refuse to accept the hand that reaches out to us, to close our hearts, to make the world more dark, to choose death. That is death of the spirit, an existence devoid of growth and purpose beyond simply breathing, just being a body. When we see the spark in someone else, when we share a joy inside us, we're choosing life. When we stand up for right, when we stop someone from spewing hate, causing hurt, doing wrong, we are choosing life. When we share what we do best or love most with somebody else, or when we see someone else do what they love with passion, art, and skill, and we let them know we appreciate it, we are choosing life. This past year and a half of pandemic time has enlarged our vision. It's taught us we don't have to sit at the same table to break bread, or to be in the same room to spend time together. What we have learned is that connecting, listening, learning, sharing, caring for, loving one another, we are nourished and grow stronger in spirit. And as we extend our hearts, nurturing hope, we are doing the most holy work we can by making God's presence real, affirming all it must mean to choose life. Uvacharta b'chaim. Every single day, the choice is set before you. It's up to you. We are on the cusp of a new year. It's all going to happen, believe it or not, and Jane Sable-Friedman, our executive director, can vouch for this. Not only will these 360 seats be full for the services, but the 520 seats in the tent will be full. Our ticket app is telling us we're booked. There is really even no SRO room virtually anyplace. And so I am privileged that we're here together because we are ringing in the new year. We are walking that pathway together that paves the way for everyone else. So it's a gift to mark it with you on this entryway moment. I think we're rising for the end of our service. Are we doing Aleinu now? Can you beat that? If you want to turn to 586 or not, we are at Aleinu. Notice what color the Torahs are dressed in. It matches the moment. Careful, Andy. I want this to carry.
Thank you. Yeah. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'tekedu l'yotzer breshit, shelo asanu kegoye haratzot, velo samanu k'mishpechot ha'adama, shelo sam kelkenu kahem, v'gor aleinu kekol hamonam, va'anachnu korim, Umishtakavim umodim, Lifnei Malak, Malkei Hamakim, Hakadosh Baruch Hu, V'nema, V'haya Adonai, L'melech kol ha'aretz, Bayom hahu, Ushemo, Ushemo, Ushemo Echad.
Kaddish is meant to help us hear, not with our hearts. No, excuse me, not with our ears, but with our hearts. For those we love, I firmly believe are still speaking to us, saying what they may have said in this life, or perhaps what they never said, but we know they hoped we would continue to do after they were gone. Among my most favorite readings, poems, that is really an urging from beyond, is Mary Lee Hall's piece. I share it with you. Try to hear the voice of your loved one, the person you may be remembering, speaking the words. If I should die and leave you here a while, be not like others sore undone, who keep long vigil by the silent dust and weep. For my sake turn again to life and smile, nerving thy heart and trembling hand to do that which will comfort other souls than thine. Complete these dear unfinished tasks of mine, and I, perchance, may therein comfort you. We feel the love of those who've left us as we mark the Yortzites this Shabbat of Roberta Letterman, Judith Rubin, Alice Summer, Jeanette Potash, David Steinberg, Max Abrams, Sarah Melnick, Oliver Tribeck, Milford M. Snyder, Eva Blum, Leonard Luria, Berthold Rosenberg, Bessie Goldsweig, Rosa Botteri, Steve Weissman, Stephen Gottdiener, Elaine Lewis, Jerome Orans, Ann Talon, Bernie Axelrod, Frank Foster, Celine Levine, Charles Hutman, Benjamin Slate, Leonard C. Harrison, Lucille Jaffe, Fred Halden, Richard Heller, and Susan's grandma, Goldie Paul. To the names we link the voices that still speak because we can hear them, recently laid to their eternal rest in the past 30 days, Shloshim. Stephen Kushel, husband of Doreen, father of Richard, Margot, Peter, father-in-law of Gloria, Ari, and Rachel, grandfather of Eric, Caroline, Tavi, Kaja, Rebecca, and Teddy. Phil Theodore Klotz, husband of Arlene, brother of Anita, father of Andrea and Jeffrey, father-in-law of Eric, grandfather of Mackenzie, Thomas, Rachel, and Ethan. Robert Leopold, husband of Renee, father of Susan, Barbara, and Ronnie of blessed memory, father-in-law of Fred, grandfather of Alana and Danielle. Robert Sigda, father of Eric and Neil, father-in-law of Stacy and Alina, grandfather of Lauren, Caitlin, and Daniel. Gail Hoover, beloved wife of Rabbi Larry Hoffman. Irene Lazarus, grandmother of Laura Schreiber. Philip Leaf, husband of Edna, mother of Amy and Michael, father-in-law of Ariel and Jeffrey, grandfather of Allegra, Dahlia, Ezra, and Jonah. And just this week, Edward J. Greenfield, husband of Nancy, father of Mark and Rob, father-in-law of Kim, grandfather of Noah and Ella. We link their names to the unthinkable number of people who have been taken by this vicious virus, too many killed by fire, in recent days by flood, by hate, and by ongoing war, each of them speaking to us to live our lives so as to honor their memories and bring their love to life. We join together in words of Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, B'alma divrach erutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon, v'chayedecho Beit Yisrael, ba'agala v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mivorach, le'olam u'lomei maya. Barach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yithadar v'yitalev v'yithalal. Shemei dekudsha barichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shloma rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'al kol yoshvei tevel, v'imru amen. Zichronam livracha, may their memories be our blessing. Amen. A special closing song, I think. Andy, am I right?
A special closing song to honor the end of the year is Lu Yehi, combined with, of course, the Lennon-McCartney Let It Be. And it is on page 656 in your prayer books. Please rise. עוד יש מפרש לבן באופק, מול ענן שחור כבד, כל שנבקש לו יהי. ואם בחלומות הערב או נרות החג רועד, כל שנבקש לו יהי. לו יהי, לו יהי, אנא לו יהי, כל שנבקש לו יהי. And when the broken-hearted people living in the world agree, there will be an answer, let it be. For though they may be parted, there is still a chance that they will see. There will be an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. There will be an answer, let it be. Lu Yehi, Lu Yehi, Ana Lu Yehi, Kol Shenevakesh Lu Yehi.
And let it be a good, sweet, healthy year for all of you and all of you. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.